right, welcome to the last lesson in packet number 6 over the sacrum, ribs, and sternum. So we're going to be going through a couple of different pages here, so we'll be flipping through those. We have just a few landmarks on each of these that we want to talk about. So we're starting off with an anterior and a posterior view of the sacrum and the coccyx. So I have the sacrum is here, and down here I have the coccyx. And what has happened here is we have individual vertebrae that have fused together. So you'll see that even though this is one bone, we have S1, S2, S3, S4, and S5. We have 5 bones that have fused together to form the sacrum. And the coccyx, here they show 4. There can be a 5th bone here. But it's a fused single bone. And the coccyx is what we call the tailbone. So the common term for this is your tailbone. If you've ever fallen and cracked it, you know it does not feel good. As these have fused, they have left us with a few landmarks we want to talk about. On the posterior view of the sacrum, down the back, you have this ridge of bones. These would have been spinous processes, and they have fused together. And so now these fused processes have this long ridge of bone, and this is called the sacral crest. The holes here to the side that we have nerve bundles passing out of, so I have 4 on this side and I have 4 on this side, are called the sacral foramina. Anytime you have INA at the ending of something, it means little. So these are like small foramen. And the other thing we want to look at here at the top, so have it here. Say this is number 1, this is number 2. Monkey 3. Number 3 is the superior articulating process. And this is where the sacrum articulates with L5, the 5th lumbar vertebra. And that's about all we're going to do on the sacrum. So let's look at some of the disorders of the vertebral column. And one of the main disorders, and especially that you folks see, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of flip my page here, are conditions. In this condition, this is scoliosis. And this is a lateral curvature. So it curves to the left or the right. So we have lateral curvature of the spine. And they'll check for this in elementary school or elementary grades, because if you have scoliosis, the best time to treat it is when you're a child, and they can put you in a brace, and that can help alleviate some of the twisting. There's another type of scoliosis, though. It's called torsional. It's where one vertebra rotates clockwise and the other vertebra below it rotates counterclockwise, and it creates a torsion. Not as common, but it is. What we have here in the diagram down, so the common term for this is this condition down here is swayback. So that's the common term. The scientific term for this is lordosis. And it's a disorder of the spine. If you look, the vertebral discs to the back here would be compressed. You would have to worry about excessive compression on the backs of the bodies of the vertebra, while here you have openings and you have the greater tendency for a bulging disc. So this can be a pretty big issue. Now, a slight sway back is just going to kind of give you a butt that sticks out. But if you have a severe sway back or you have severe lordosis, it can be a problem. The next one I have to try to draw, oh my goodness. So if this is the abdomen, and we have to go up a little bit higher. So we've got the arms are up here. If we have a condition where, so if these are my vertebra, the vertebra curve this way. So let me do the vertebra in red. I just did little squiggles, but this is an arm up here, so shoulders are going to be coming up. Why I'm not an art teacher. So the common term for this is going to be a hunchback or a humpback. And this is called kyphosis. Kyphosis. This is often seen in little old ladies, and what happens is their vertebra and the bones in their back form hairline, or actually the vertebra form hairline fractures, and they start to have these micro breakages, and the body responds by forming these it looks like a hunch or a humpback, but it's actually curvature. So again, okay, so those are irregular arrangements of the vertebra, either to the side, to the front. So this is actually a anterior curvature, and this is a posterior curvature. All right, the last thing that we want to talk about are the ribs and the sternum. So the sternum is divided into 3 sections, and I'll do the whole sternum in blue, and then we'll talk about 3 sections. Section 1, Section 2, and Section 3. And these are all parts of the sternum. So Section 1 is called the manubrium, M-A-N-U. Let me bring this over a little bit. M-A-N-U-B-R-I-U-M. Section 2 is the body of the sternum. And Section 3 is the xiphoid process, X-I-P-H-O-I-D-P-R-O-C-E-S-S. The ribs the ribs articulate with the manubrium and the body. The xiphoid process extends down. And they say if you're going to do CPR, they always ask you to find that xiphoid process and then go up 2 fingers and go over a fist. That's going to put you on top of the heart. Some people have an irregularly shaped xiphoid process where it can curl up. It kind of sticks out. It creates a little bit of a pocket here. So that can be a condition. All right, that takes us to the ribs. And you'll notice that the ribs, so there are 12 thoracic vertebrae. And it says here first thoracic, that's the first thoracic vertebra. So there are 12 sets of ribs. Now, not all the ribs articulate with anything to the front, and some of them only articulate with cartilage. So let's do the cartilage first, and I'll do that in green. So in here, let me do something lighter. It's not showing up very well. How about orange? So what we have here is cartilage, and it's cartilage that attaches. No, the orange didn't show up very well either. It's called costal cartilage. And it's cartilage that attaches the ribs to the sternum. Attaches ribs to sternum. And we group ribs into 3 categories. So the first category are ribs that their cartilage attaches directly to the sternum. They have a direct cartilage attachment to sternum. And I'll show you what this means. We call these the true ribs. True ribs. So if you look at the first rib and it comes around, it attaches to the sternum here. Rib 1, rib 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we usually say ribs 1 through 7 are true ribs. Ribs 8 through 9 they attach to cartilage, the cartilage above. So ribs 8 through 9 attach to the above cartilage. So if you look at rib number 8 and rib number 9, if you look, this cartilage attaches to cartilage above, and this attaches to cartilage above. These are called the vertebrochondral ribs, V-E-R-T-E, vertebrochondral ribs. And then finally, ribs 10, 11, and 12 do not have any attachment in the front. Scoot this over just a little bit. They have no anterior attachment. And so we call these floating ribs or false ribs. The other thing that, and I forgot to note this, so I'm going to go back and pick it up, is that the manubrium, we have articulation with the ribs. But we also have the a clavicle that comes in and articulates here. And so we have this notch up here, and you can feel this if you reach up and touch it. So this is called, we're going to do 1A here, 1A. That's your sternal notch. And that's important. It's a big landmark. So things for muscles and things, they'll say go to your sternal notch and then go over, go to the sternal notch and go up. It's also very easy to find. Here I have 1B, and that's called the clavicular notch, C-L-A-V-I-C-U-L-A-R. And the reason is that's where the clavicle articulates. Clavicle is important. It provides all of the support for the pelvic or the pectoral girdle, and pretty much all of its bony attachment. The only point it has bony attachment to the axial skeleton is here and here. So that's why if you break your clavicle, you really can't do much. Okay, I think that picks up all of the odds and ends we had left. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.